Here's a fascinating fact. While asleep and dreaming, some people are aware they are dreaming and can actually choose to change the plot, if you will, of the dream.
More than that, many people can train themselves to do this. But let's back up to ask, why do we dream in the first place?
An eagle flying through a blue sky, a mother's mystic stare, and a floating crosswalk. Just a few clues that you've left the world of reason behind and you're in a dream. That mystical place where we spend 3/4 of our sleep, or roughly 25% of our lives. Despite that investment, our understanding of dreams is a slow evolution.
4,000 years ago, dreams were seen as gifts that God's placed in our minds to give us a message, always a message that they weren't willing to just come out and tell us, of course.
Robert Stickgold isn't your average Harvard professor, but don't let his Jedi office mate or dream-themed dad humor distract you from the fact that he is one of a handful of brilliant pioneers who have literally written the book on modern dream theory.
So Freud came along in 1899 with his interpretation that dreams are all about forbidden desires, repressed desires, these things you want to do that usually involve your mother. Following that, for the next 30 to 40 years, the science says that dreams are just a random firing of neurons in the brainstem. That view started to change again in about 2010. When Erin Walmsley, who was working with me at the time, decided to look at her hypothesis that dreaming is just a part of what we now know is a night-long mechanism of information and memory processing.
Walmsley's breakthrough experiment involved test subjects navigating a complex maze simulation. Afterwards, half of the subjects slept for 90 minutes. It's no surprise that many of them reported dreaming about the maze. What is surprising is what happened next.
The subjects who had a chance to nap actually did better on the maze later that evening. We think that what dreaming is doing, it's saying, I'm looking for those really far-out associations to see if I can pull together something that makes more sense.
A simple explanation, but then why do we care so much about our dreams?
At least when we're in REM sleep, we've shut off the release of serotonin. When serotonin gets shut off in the brain, we kind of mimic the action of LSD. It puts the brain into a mode that assumes that connections are meaningful.
So maybe our dreams aren't coded messages from the gods, but dream romantics can still have plenty of fun while sleeping by using a technique explored in this visually stunning short film.
Lucid dreaming is when you become aware while you're dreaming that you are dreaming. Once you become lucid, you can in fact start to alter the content of the dream and the narrative.
Cape Cod-based artist Rita Colantonio does the opposite, turning reality into dreamlike narratives with her beautifully haunting digital images.
I would say that about 90% of my artwork tells a story. Most of what I do is photography-based, but in the process, the photographs become something else.
The result is stunning, and to hear Colantonio describe an image is like entering a dream.
I feel that dreams are very strong as far as making you more aware of what is really going on in those deeper levels of your psyche. It seems to come out naturally in my art.
Digital art is a new media for us.
Cape Cod Art Center hosted an online exhibit called Dream State.
We came up with Dream State to see what we would get, and it was really incredible.
This image by Colantonio, entitled Haunted, was Dream State's best of show. An image that personifies the potential of the medium, which, like dreams, has no limits.
Once you're able to free yourself of all of these rules and limits that are imposed on us as creators, we can actually start to create beautiful art.
One question Dr. Stickgold gets all the time, and I think we all wonder about this, is why can't I remember my dreams?
That's because our dreams aren't stored in our long-term memories. But if you want to remember your dreams, he suggests drinking 3 large glasses of water before going to bed. This is going to wake you up a lot, but often will wake you up at the end of your sleep cycle, and it will make it easier to remember those dreams, and you'll probably have to go to the bathroom.
I might take forgetting the dreams from getting up 3 times a night, but we'll see how that works out. This Rhode Island company has a stamp of approval from NASA.
The award-winning company produces LED lights that prepare the body for sleep.